Here at All Ears, we're all about having the perfect day in Disney World. So we asked our readers, if you were aiming to have the perfect day in Disney's Animal Kingdom, what would be the #1 requirement?
Having the perfect day at any Disney park, it seems impossible, but I'll say perfection is in the eye of the beholder. And I guarantee you, if we were to go around this room, we would all have something different that would make your park day the perfect day for you. So now I'm curious, does anyone want to start off? What's the #1 thing in order to make it your perfect day, specifically at Animal Kingdom? What would it be for you?
I've got this. Like at Animal Kingdom, I've got my one thing that must be done. It must be, I'm stepping on the soapbox. I'm up
wait.
here. No.
Would you like my bullhorn? I don't know where it is. Somewhere.
You moved space, and now you don't know where your bullhorn is.
I did. I lost the bullhorn.
Yeah, my answer to this, and a lot of our readers agree with us when we ask this question, is it's got to be Kilimanjaro Safaris. This is an attraction in Animal Kingdom that is, you sit on like a safari truck, it's a real car, and drive through basically the most involved zoo exhibit you've ever seen in your life. You drive through a bunch of different exhibits on an African savanna and see all the animals that live there in habitats that look very like true to life in a lot of places, especially when you get out on the big savanna. You see like giraffes and zebras. Every ride is different because they are real animals, and your safari guides do share a bunch of really fun facts about this stuff. The park is called Animal Kingdom. You know what I mean?
But it's not a zoo.
Animals. It's not a zoo. It's not a zoo. It's a theme park based on animals. And I actually have to really agree with Samantha, and this might be a little more controversial, is that Samantha W says definitely do the safari more than once. And I agree, because my perfect day in Animal Kingdom means going on the safari in the morning and in the evening. That's when the animals are most active. Maddie J agrees, early morning safari, and Stephanie S says love seeing the animals first things in the day. Angela H even adds that it's great to go when it rains, which is also true because the animals get really active, unlike us, where we hide when it rains.
Speak for yourself, Quincy. Rain is one of my favorite things, and literally. Oh, Fry, are you with me on this one?
I am with you. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I will be in the gift shop.
I'm literally the evil witch. I will melt.
Well, when it rains, that's typically when the people like Quincy and Emma hide, which means some of the ride, some of the wait times are down. And especially for the safari, if you're not afraid to get a little bit wet, yes, the best time to ride it is in the morning and in the evening, but really when it's any time there's a cooler temperature, and typically after it rains, that's when the temperature drops and the animals start to get active again. So I'll be in there with a raincoat poncho thing, just like rocking it with some monkeys.
You won't get super, super wet. There is a cover. Like, you might get a little wet, but not a lot. Like, it's fine.
But if you're sitting in the best seat of your row, which, say it with me, the left. Nobody said it with me.
I didn't know if you were gonna. I didn't know where she
front or
left
back.
or right.
I was thinking she was going to say back row. I didn't know what was happening.
No, the best seat is, it doesn't matter what row you're in as long as you're on the left, because more animal exhibits are on the left.
That's
and
true.
I thought we all knew that.
Does anyone have like a favorite memory on the safari?
I loved the safari because there was just one day, and it had just rained, so everyone was very active. Whatever, Sage and Fry, it was a great time to go. It had rained. But I'm trying to think, like, one of the giraffes, this has been several years ago, but there had just been a baby born, and it was like one of the first, I think it had just come out like a few months before and had just started going to the savannah, and it decided it needed to stand in front of our truck. And we got to sit and just look at this baby for like 15 minutes. I mean, it would not move.
I love looking at babies.
And the thing is like the cast members, they won't like honk their horn at it or anything. Like, they just let them exist. And so we just got to sit there and like sit with the giraffes, like walking around us for the longest time. And my dad's very anti-Disney. And even he was like, this is one of the coolest experiences.
Sorry, Emma and we were riding safaris together. I can't remember what we were filming.
It's
we
this
were
little girl
together, and there was a little girl behind us, and she was, I think, Scottish. She had the heaviest accent, and she was young. She was like 4.
She was tiny.
And she chose to grant us all the immense pleasure of sharing her commentary on the animals over the course of the ride. And we got to the elephants, and two of the elephants were kind of like, they weren't like fighting, but they were, you know, like roughhousing with their tusks and stuff, playing around. And she goes, "Oh yeah, that's how they establish dominance." And it was like a 4-year-old girl. That was the worst Scottish accent of all time. Hers was much better. But it was so, and she was so loud. It was like, and Emma and I think Emma immediately grabbed my thigh. We both were just dying. It was so cute.
It was
amazing.
amazing.
She was having a magical moment.
She kept going on and on too, and she's like, "Well, for me, it's going to be the bigger one. Like, there's no question. He's going to win. He's so much bigger." And her mom was like, "Yeah, you nailed it." Like, for sure. But it was just like this whole conversation. We got to be privy to this whole family's like shining moment. And she did this the whole ride. Like, it wasn't just the elephant.
It was like watching a
commentated
DVD with
every
commentary.
single animal. And it was
Did it feel
amazing.
like you're watching National Geographic?
A little.
Oh, yeah.
I want that
But
little
better.
girl to narrate my life. I want her to come stand in my home and be like, "Oh, Quincy's at the computer again."
There she goes.
So I've got to ask, Fry Bucket, is the Kilimanjaro Safari, is this something you would rope drop or what?
No. I've got other things. I've got a different way to do Animal Kingdom.
Quincy, why wouldn't you rope drop Kilimanjaro Safari?
I wouldn't rope drop Kilimanjaro Safari because it's often not open first thing in the morning.
Oh.
A good reason not to rope drop it. So if you head all the way over there and you find that it is not open, you might have to then go head elsewhere and you've lost precious rope drop time. My go-to is to say ride Kilimanjaro Safari's second. Rope drop something else, probably something in Pandora, Flight of Passage or Navi River Journey, and then go to Kilimanjaro Safaris once it's confirmed open. You might have a little bit longer of a line than if you just go stake out Kilimanjaro Safaris, but you'll still get those good animal views, and you won't be missing out on another shorter line for a really popular attraction.
I just miss when back in the day they used to have the poachers around. I thought the poachers was that storyline was so cool.
Sage
back
loves poaching.
No, I don't. I just thought
You're
the
here first.
no, I thought the
Despicable.
I thought the conflict was really interesting because we saved the baby elephant. Back in the day, there used to be a small storyline where your code name was Symbol 1, and basically the poachers were spotted in the land, and you had to save this baby elephant called Little Red, and you saw like this poacher jeep just like speed by you, and it was a really cool experience. And I just miss the conflict. That's all I wanted to say. I miss when Animal Kingdom had conflict.
Sage loves conflict.
I do. It adds
No, that's
story
actually true.
elements.
Sage, whenever the castle show is happening in Magic Kingdom, I kid you not what Sage does. Needs conflict. It's a beautiful show. Families are crying, and Sage.
It
conflict.
just needs some villain representation. Like I get it, but it's just all fluff. Like where's the hero moment? Where's the demise of the bad guy? We gotta get something in there.
Love the safaris, Quincy, but I have a different number one pick for an Animal Kingdom day. Now, every good day must start with a good breakfast, because breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
Okay.
And that's especially
Cheers.
important if you're going to have a long park day at Disney. You need a good meal to start out your day. And where's the best place to get breakfast in Animal Kingdom? Tusker House.
This is true.
Right.
So Tusker House is a character dining restaurant in the Africa section of Animal Kingdom. It's got all of our favorite characters. We've got Mickey, we've got Donald, we've got Goofy and Daisy in their safari outfits. Honestly, I think that's their best outfits ever, even more than Topolino's.
I agree.
Really?
I don't know if that's controversial, but that's how I
Yeah,
feel.
they're so cute. They're so
They are
cute
really
and adventurous.
They are really cute. And this restaurant offers different styles of food. There is the typical American food, but there's also African-inspired food, and it's decorated super well. It's super fun.
I'm gonna ask a question here. Because, well, I just want you to teach. I want you to teach me because I'm not a huge breakfast person, and I've never been to Tusker House before because I'm not a huge breakfast person. Which I know you go to Tusker House
Their
for
lunch
other-
and dinner is good too.
And, Richie,
Their
I know
lunch
you
and
can
dinner
do
is
that
good
as
too.
well. But I know but the reason to go to Tusker House because of the breakfast, because of that's the key time to go in the morning because of breakfast. Is that the better time to go, or is it going to be less worth it for lunch and dinner?
Well, it kind of depends. So at every single meal, they have the typical American food, and then they also have the African-inspired food. So you're not missing out any time of day for that. If you can get a time really early in the morning, technically before park opens, then you're in the park before everybody else. Or I've also done it before on a family vacation. We had dinner at Tusker House, and it was a very late dinner. And then by the time when we walked out of the restaurant, the park was closed. Nobody was there. Like, I'm not kidding you. We were the last ones to leave the park. And that was a really cool experience because we were just walking around Animal Kingdom. Nobody else was there. Everybody was gone. So I don't think typically, I would go any time of day. Doesn't matter breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
I have the hottest Tusker House tip of all time.
Is it?
Do you?
Wait,
And I
how
actually
hot?
feel like you guys are going to hear this tip and agree with me. I exaggerate a lot, and I'm aware of that, and I'm working on it, okay? But this one is the hottest Tusker House tip of all time. You got to get the latest breakfast reservation possible, because what happens then is that you pay the breakfast price, okay? You get the breakfast buffet, and then while you're there, they change the buffet over to being the lunch buffet. You eat brunch, you have a breakfast portion and a lunch portion. It's all you care to enjoy. You can go up to that buffet as many times as you want. You get breakfast and lunch. Lunch and dinner are the same menu. You get all the best of both worlds. You're with Donald, you're with Mickey, they're in their safari outfits. You're living your best life. Only downside to this is that it's a very heavy meal midday. It's the only downside. But Animal Kingdom isn't that overwhelming of a theme park, so might be okay here.
On that note, pricing for breakfast, adults are $45 for breakfast, and then lunch and dinner are both $59. So it's a little bit more for lunch and dinner, not a lot, but that is something to keep in mind, something to budget for if you're looking into this restaurant.
As someone who has never been, why would I go here instead of different character dinings? Because I like to weigh my options.
So my number one reason for you, the safari outfits. The safari outfits. And honestly, the food is so good.
The food is really
so
good. It was one of my family's go-to every single time restaurants. I go to Tusker House. I'm not a big character meal person because I have social anxiety, and sometimes I get stressed out that I'm going to embarrass myself in front of Mickey Mouse. Would that not be horrible? So I prefer a non-character meal, and I miss when Tusker House didn't have characters all day. But now it's a cool bonus that I also get to high-five Donald while I'm eating my delicious lunch.
You mentioned adventurous food earlier. My family is just crazy picky. I mean, super picky. Is there any typical food that they might get instead of this adventurous, African-inspired food?
Yes, they have both because they know that there are people out there who are picky and they're not going to want to try the African food. So they have both. They have enough for everybody in your family to find something that you like to eat. Because even my family, half of my family is picky eaters, and then my dad and I are the more adventurous ones. And so that's why we love Tusker House, because we can get a little bit of that African-inspired food. That's why we love to go. But then everybody else in my family still can find the typical buffet American food that they could enjoy too. So
they've got corn dog nuggets. They're for the kids, but nothing is stopping you from going to the kids buffet. I'll tell you that right now. Yes. No one is going to stop you. It's a little buffet. You're going to have to bend down.
Are you a kids buffet gal, Emma?
I'm a both buffets gal. So what I like to do is I like to make my first adult plate because I want to try those things. But then I also really love corn dog nuggets and good macaroni and cheese. So what I love to do is I'll go to the kids and I'll be like, what did you say, honey? Corn, of course. And then I make my child's plate as I actively have conversations with them about what they want on their plate. And then I go back hoping no one noticed I am sitting alone.
I didn't know this until researching for this video, according to the Disney World website, the host of this character meal is Donald Duck. It's not Mickey Mouse. Donald Duck is the host.
And that's why it's better.
That's why it's the best, because he's number one.
Donald Duck is number one.
So these are all nice and fun and dandy. I love food. I love a good ride. But I know one person in this chat who's going to agree with me and get very excited because we think that live entertainment is important. So I have to go
Let's
with
go.
Festival of the Lion King. And I also
Oh,
know
my
that
queen.
Quincy, I can't wait to make you talk about this after I chat my part. So we're going to go ahead and start because Bobby T says his perfect day at Animal Kingdom is making sure that he doesn't skip the shows and the trails because just doing rides can make for a really short day at Animal Kingdom, and I completely agree with that. You have to enjoy all of Animal Kingdom if you want to be there longer than like 10 a.m. on slow days. So that's pretty much everybody's response. Animal Kingdom does not have as many rides and there aren't as many things to do, so you need to utilize those shows and trails. But not only should you just do that, you know, to add things, I personally think that Festival of the Lion King is one of the best shows that Disney has created for any of their parks, and it makes me cry every single time. And to some people in this chat, that's controversial. It's Quincy. I love exposing you.
I don't think it's controversial. I think my opinion is the one that's controversial.
Only to it's only
And
controversial
it's just
to you.
that Festival of the Lion King is one of my like pretty much always skip choices. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Why am I
It
just now
makes
hearing
me
about
laugh.
this?
I love making her say it because she won't say it in public for obvious reasons, and then people's reactions are very
'Cause she
funny.
knows it's wrong.
I do know it's wrong. I know it's wrong. For me, that show is like 2 songs too long. Like if they or like 2 song snippets too long.
They only
I know,
do
I
4
know.
songs.
I know it's too many.
I will
want it
say,
be
to
the same number of
defend her,
songs.
It is a 25-minute show in case people don't know, so you can keep
That's
that. I just thought
long.
that was
I wish
perfect.
it was 15. I wish it was 10 minutes shorter.
No.
I literally, if I could kick Quincy out of this chat, I would. Literally.
Jokes on him. I'm the one who can kick people.
I know. Literally 25 minutes. I mean,
I
they
kicked
literally
the rest
cut
of
down
you.
Finding Nemo the musical down from 35 minutes to a 25-minute show just because they thought that was too long. The reason that Emma, I agree with Emma on this is because the whole point of a Festival of the Lion King, it's a celebration. It's a feeling of collective joy. You're reminiscing about the songs from the Lion King. You can sing along, and on top of that, there are these really great variety acts like aerialists, fire dancers, live vocals, singers. There's like a fun interactive section where you sing along, and then the mega mix at the end.
Tumble
puppetry of
monkeys.
the puppetry of the Lion King like characters is so amazing too.
Yeah,
Tumble
absolutely.
monkeys.
The Tumble Monkeys, they weren't in the show for a long time, but they're back, which is awesome. Even the flying dancers, the aerialists, the birds, they weren't
Flying
doing
birds.
all their stunts, but now they're back in full swing. It really is a great way just to get hype and feel and reminisce about all your favorite songs of the Lion King. It's truly a celebration of the music. It's not even a retelling of Lion King. It's a celebration of the music, and it's a celebration of that culture. So I agree with Emma 1,000%.
I want to go on record as saying I know that I'm wrong. Like I know that my feelings in this case are objectively incorrect, but I cannot change the way I would probably be pretty sad if they shortened it, even though I think I would prefer it shortened because I love having these longer shows in the parks and I know how people feel about Festival of the Lion King. So my opinions about Festival of the Lion King are objectively incorrect. They just happen to be the way I feel, unfortunately.
I think if they would just do different seats with backs, that Quincy would, all of her complaints would go away. And that I could completely get behind. So Disney, if you
Yeah.
do change anything,
so
just put in
true.
different seating. I mean, honestly,
No,
those
if
benches,
you
I'm
watch-
I will
yeah,
say,
I just think the show just dragged. Really, I'm just tired of sitting on an uncomfortable bench.
the worst.
If you
bench
watch
possible.
my Animal Kingdom ride ranking video, I rate the accessibility lower just because Anytime they have the benches with no backs, I literally brought it down a point just because it was so uncomfortable.
That's true.
In my opinion, I either start with the first show or one of the last 2 shows, because this is easily the most popular show in all of Animal Kingdom, and the wait times can get crazy. Like if you're there in the summers, I have personally gone about 45 to 30 minutes early before that start time, so that way I'm guaranteed a seat for the next show, because the crowds will get crazy. So if you're gonna go midday, we do recommend, especially in the summer times or peak times, to go about 45 to 30 minutes early if it's a really big priority for you to have seats. But if you're not wanting to wait that long, I say you should go to the first show of the day or the last 2, because at that point the crowds have kind of gotten through. It's not as busy. The last 2 you still probably should go at least 20 minutes early just to make sure, but those are my hot tips, because you don't want to have to stand in the heat with all of those people, because it is an outside queue.
And I might use that as a blanket statement. I think if you want a good seat at either, Festival of the Lion King or Finding Nemo the Musicals, like the big Broadway style shows, I would say just get there 30 minutes in advance no matter what, just because you don't want to be seated at the back of the house. There's some, you want to get the best seat possible you can, especially Festival of the Lion King. If you get there like right when the show is starting, right before, they put you in this weird section that's like deep in the back of the theater, and like the walls are kind of closed off. If you get in
at all, you might want to do an hour. And I know that sounds horrible, standing outside of a theater for an hour. Here's the trick: Dawa bar beforehand. Or if you
That's
don't
exactly
drink,
what I was about to say.
Kusafiri Bakery has some amazing eats and stuff that you could go ahead and make that your lunchtime. That's my trick: is turn your line waiting time into lunchtime, and then it doesn't feel like
a corn on the cob and Dawa bar.
Multitask.
That's just giving me everything I need.
My favorite part of Festival of the Lion King is when they sing "Be Prepared."
Same.
Because I love a villain song.
No, I lied.
And he's so good. The singers
It's the
they have
conflict.
on Scar's voice part. I mean, all of the singers are unbelievable. It's the conflict.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is staged when he goes to Festival of the Lion King.
My favorite part is the mega mix at the end. Can you feel the love tonight? Be
Circle of
prepared.
Life.
Just can't wait to be king, and Circle of Life, and it becomes this whole almost gospel inspired mega mix at the end. Everybody's dancing and clapping. Right? You get the chills. It's so good.
No, it's
that is collective joy. How much? Where else can you feel genuine emotion other than live entertainment? You can't. We may have these specific perfect day scenarios, but there are a bunch of other ways to have the perfect day at Animal Kingdom. But we're gonna throw in a couple other ones. We'll go kind of go in the circle. But first, for example, a bunch of extra Facebook responses were taking it slow at Animal Kingdom. Just taking it slow. Which Animal Kingdom, in my opinion, is one of the most gorgeous parks out there. The scenery and the immersion and the details that they put into each one. I think it's probably the most beautiful park out of the 4 parks at Disney World. Autumn E says, a coffee and time to wander all the little pathways and appreciate the attention to details. Again, it's just absolutely gorgeous. So many things to see and do. My favorite thing, thing to do. Poem snaps. Yeah. One of my favorite things to do is to get a coffee from Creature Comforts, which is the Starbucks, and then literally just wander through the Tree of Life, like a walkway. It's the closest you can get to the Tree of Life. The music is peaceful and serene. Not a lot of people know about it. It's just a nice, relaxing way to start your day. It's one of my favorite things to do.
Sage, you're forgetting a core part of that favorite thing, your favorite thing that you do, which is you also get me a coffee at the Creature Comforts, and then you wander through the pathways of the Tree of Life to bring me the coffee that you've gotten me.
You're not wrong. I'm a great friend.
You are a great friend.
Bless you.
The amount of times Sage has handed me a coffee, pretty killer. It's a good number of times.
Fry Bucket, why is a great tip to just take it slow to Animal Kingdom?
I think, honestly, nowadays, the whole idea of a Disney World vacation is very stressful. It's a lot of planning. There's a lot that goes into it, and I love Animal Kingdom specifically just because you don't have to do all of that. If there's just one park that you can just show up to without any plans, it would be Animal Kingdom. So if you are one of those people that you don't want to plan your whole entire vacation, just show up to Animal Kingdom. you're gonna have a great day no matter what. There are, you know, Flight of Passage and Navi River Journey and Expedition Everest that might have long lines, but again, you can get all of Animal Kingdom done before park hopping time. So if you're gonna stay your whole entire day in Animal Kingdom, just relax, take your time, just walk around. It really is the most beautiful park. So much detail went into it. So my tip is to just appreciate Animal Kingdom for everything that it entails, because that is the only park that really allows you to do that and just relax and just walk around.
Mine's a little bit of a piggyback off of Fry, but I personally, like for my perfect day at Animal Kingdom, it's almost always at the end of my trip because it has been so crazy and so stressful. And I also think Animal Kingdom has a lot of underrated bars that people really don't talk about, like Dawa Bar we talk about a lot, but outside of this crew, like a lot of my friends don't really know about it, or they just walk right past it because it's kind of tucked towards Tusker House. So I just think it's really underrated, and that's not everybody's going to enjoy that, like having a nice relaxed day. They're going to feel like they're wasting time, especially if you're at Disney and you've been go the whole time. But if I can get on Flight of Passage in the morning and then immediately go get a Night Blossom and then just walk around, maybe see an animal, an anteater, ride safari twice, like I will never complain about having the opportunity to do multiple things at a Disney park, because normally you don't even get to do everything, let alone do them twice.
I love the animal trails. Those are like, I'm a big advocate of the animal trails. I never went on them as a kid because my family's a rides family. And so we were about the rides, and a lot of times we were park hopping out of Animal Kingdom. And when I was like 17-ish, my family was in Disney World and I didn't want to do whatever they were doing. Like, I think they were riding Everest, which I can't for the life of me tell you why I didn't want to ride Everest, but I guess I didn't. And so I went and I was like, let me go find something to kill time. And I went and I was like, oh, what's this for the Maharaja Jungle Trek? And I walked the Asian Animal Trail, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Like, it's better than any zoo you've ever been to. The theming continues into the animal trails and is beautiful. You see animals up close. I could stand and stare at the gorillas on Gorilla Falls Trail all day. Like, literally, there are baby gorillas playing, and you want me to do something else? That's ridiculous. I love the animal trails, and I totally think they're a big part of taking it slow and enjoying Animal Kingdom.
I think overall the big thing to remember about Disney World parks, or just Disney in general, is it's okay to go in with a game plan, but don't be afraid to just find things. Found entertainment, found attractions, found walkthrough experiences. There's so much to see and do, so go with a game plan with your must-dos, but still, in order to have the best day, don't be afraid to just find things.
Like, what else do people consider best day? Expedition Everest.
Rope dropping Flight of Passage.
Ice cream sandwich from Dino Bites.
Ooh.
Nomad Lounge.
Nomad Lounge.
I'm surprised it took you until the end of the episode to talk about it.
We love Dinosaur.
Love Dinosaur. If you like this video, go ahead and like and subscribe. Now go watch me, Quincy, and Emma have the perfect day in Animal Kingdom. Bye, everybody.
See you there.
Bye.
Want more info for your next trip? Do a search on allears.net for anything Disney or Universal and get results that will blow you away. Be sure to like and subscribe, and most important, join the All Ears community by following us on social media at allearsnet. Have some thoughts the cast missed? Let us know down in the comments. This is Chris for allears.net. See you next time.